The Ketza River mine site is an abandoned open pit and underground gold and silver mine. It is located in the Pelly Mountain Range, about 85 kilometers from the town of Ross River. The mine site sits at treeline in the Cache Creek Valley. It is located within the traditional territories of the Cascadena and the Teslin Tlingit First Nations. Ketza was only in commercial production for 2 years, from 1988 to 1990. However, mineral exploration and drilling programs in the area date back to the 1950s. When commercial production ended in 1990, exploration activities continued off and on at Ketza for another 20 years under various owners. In 2012, exploration activities ceased and the mine entered the care and maintenance phase of the mining life cycle. Care and maintenance is when the main focus of a site activities is on keeping the site safe for humans and the environment. On April 10, 2015, Veris Gold Corporation abandoned the mine site. At this time, the Yukon government took over responsibility for care and maintenance operations. The mine site is now staffed, monitored, and maintained to protect people, property, and the environment 24 hours a day, all year long. The next phase in the mining life cycle for Ketza is mine site remediation. This is cleanup and closure of the mine site to ensure long-term safety and security for humans and the environment. Yukon Government, Government of Canada, Ross River Dene Council, Liard First Nation, and Teslin Tlingit Council are working together to develop and implement a remediation plan for the Ketza River mine site. They are in the earliest stages of remediation planning. The remainder of this video tour describes the ongoing care and maintenance activities to keep the mine site safe and highlights some of the key mine features requiring remediation. A 40-kilometer road off the Robert Campbell Highway provides access to the Ketza River mine site. Assessment in Abandoned Mines contracts a local Ross River equipment operator to plow the road. Qualified engineers annually inspect the road and its 5 bridges. Bridge 4 is in disrepair, and the Yukon government will replace this bridge in 2021 by inviting Yukon-based companies to submit bids. Yukon government replaced bridge number 5 in 2019. A major mine site feature at Ketza is the tailings impoundment area. It was constructed in a natural depression at the confluence of Cache Creek, where the arrow is pointing, and Subsidiary Creek, which runs along the access road on the left of your screen. The area consists of a tailings pond, 2 dams, 3 water diversions, an emergency spillway, and a water treatment plant. What are tailings, you ask? Tailings are the material left over after recoverable minerals, in this case gold and silver, are extracted from the ore, the rock, through processing in the mill. Ketza's tailings contain arsenic, a naturally occurring heavy metal frequently found with gold. Because arsenic is toxic to people and wildlife, water treatment is a major focus of care and maintenance activities. Fortunately, concentrations of arsenic in the tailings pond are relatively low and easily removed with the water treatment plant on site. Each spring, as meltwater slowly fills the tailings pond, the care and maintenance operator treats the rising water to remove arsenic, thus managing pond water levels and keeping arsenic out of local creeks. The water treatment plant can treat water year-round if needed, but is typically operated from spring to late fall. Contaminated water is pumped from the pond to the water treatment plant, which is housed inside heated seep cans. Ferric chloride is added to the tailings water to bind with the arsenic, causing the heavy metal to precipitate. The large blue tanks are media filters. These filters remove the arsenic solids bound to the ferric iron. There is a basic laboratory on site to test the treated water twice a day to ensure that it is safe to return to Cache Creek. Cache Creek flows eastward and drains into the Ketza River, which in turn is a tributary of the Pelly River. Denejo Environmental, a subsidiary of Ross River Dene Council's Denanazidi Development Corporation, works in partnership with Hamera, a Whitehorse-based environmental firm, to visit the Ketza River mine site every month to monitor surface water quality both at and around the mine site, as well as in downstream rivers. They also monitor groundwater quality in the mine site on a yearly basis. The north and south dams retain the tailings pond. Professional engineers visit Ketza on a regular basis to inspect the facility for stability and to recommend any maintenance. It is a key responsibility of the care and maintenance operator to inspect, monitor, report on, and maintain the tailings impoundment area. The ultimate objective of this work is to identify and mitigate conditions that may otherwise have the potential to affect human health and safety and/or the environment. Amongst the many tools used by the care and maintenance operator to monitor and manage water quality at Ketza, weirs, like this one downstream of the dam, are used to record the daily flow rates of water. The care and maintenance operator uses staff gauges, like this one, to measure and report tailings pond and seepage pond daily water levels. There are 3 water diversions that reroute non-contact water around the tailings pond. Non-contact water is water that is not impacted by mining. The diversions are the Northwest, the Cache Creek, and the Lower Subsidiary Creek diversions. The white buildings below are the sea cans housing the water treatment plant. From this aerial view, one can see the Lower Subsidiary Creek diversion, as well as the natural Cache Creek and Lower Subsidiary Creeks before they entered the diversions. The northwest diversion is up gradient from the tailings pond. It primarily captures runoff from the surrounding hillside. We are now flying over Cache Creek diversion. This is where treated water from the water treatment plant is released. These are Ketza's camp facilities and warm storage. Ross River Dene Council's Dene Nazidi Limited Partnership supplies and leases the camp accommodations to the care and maintenance operator. The camp and office facility houses on-site workers and visiting contractors and consultants. The camp's potable water supply well is up gradient of the mine and therefore not impacted by mining. However, arsenic water filters are needed as arsenic is naturally occurring in the Cache Creek Valley. There is an incinerator on site to burn camp-appropriate waste. This is a good overview of the mine's layout. In the distance, you can see the tailings impoundment area, the camp, the diesel tanks, gasoline tank, and the mill building. The old ore stockpile is located above the mill complex. The ore stockpile contains mineralized rock not processed in the mill, and these stockpiles can often be sources of contamination. The Environmental Monitoring Program monitors water quality at the stockpile for signs of metal leaching. The mill complex is where ore was crushed, ground, and processed to extract gold and silver. The front portion of the complex is still in use, containing equipment, working areas, and diesel generators. The back portion of the building is locked and access prohibited as it is unsafe. The site has 2 diesel tanks and 1 gasoline tank for equipment fueling. Tutolini Petroleum, a Ross River Dene Council fuel company, supplies gasoline and diesel to run the site. This used to be an old polishing pond when the mill was operational, but it is no longer in use. These are 2 large bays, labeled 1 and 2, within the mill complex deemed safe for working on equipment. Beside the mill are the ore processing tanks that once contained chemicals used to separate the gold from the ore. The generator room houses 2 diesel generators used to supply electricity for the camp and water treatment plant. On the north hillside above the mill complex, the previously mined areas include the upper and lower portals. Portals are tunnels dug into the hill to extract ore. These old tunnels are potentially unstable and could collapse. To keep wildlife and people safe, the portal entrances are blocked and monitored by the care and maintenance staff. Other aging infrastructure at the mine site requiring cleanup includes the adit dry building, core racks, electrical poles and wires, as well as several smaller buildings in the old exploration camp. The care and maintenance operator monitors these areas, keeps entrances blocked, and maintains signage to warn people of the hazards. The next step in remediation planning is to gather community input on the goals of the remediation project. Essentially, answering the important question, how do we define project success?